Glacial melt is exposing land that's been hidden for more than 40,000 years. This is in IFL Science. Melting ice is exposing hidden landscapes in the Canadian Arctic that have not been seen in more than 40,000 years. This is what new research published in Nature Communication reveals. And it's not surprising. The study suggests climate change is the driving force behind this record-breaking glacial retreat, and with Arctic temperatures rising at increasing speed thanks to strong positive feedback loops in the polar regions, we can expect things to heat up even quicker in the near future. According to researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder, the Canadian Arctic may be seeing its warmest century in as many as 115,000 years. Quote, "The Arctic is currently warming 2 to 3 times faster than the rest of the globe. So naturally, glaciers and ice caps are going to react faster," unquote. Simon Pendleton, lead author and doctoral researcher in CU Boulder's Institute of Arctic and Alpine Research INSTAR, said in a statement. Pendleton and colleagues' research is based on plants collected at the age of ice caps on Baffin Island, the 5th largest island in the world. The landscape is dominated by deeply incised fjords and high elevation, low relief plateaus. The latter conserves lichens and moss in their original position in the ice for periods of time lasting thousands of years, a little like a cryogenic chamber. Previous observations indicate that foliage is soon removed from the environment once it loses that protective ice layer, either by meltwater in the summertime or wind-blown snow in the winter. This lets scientists make a reasonable assumption that vegetation collected today is vegetation that's been covered in ice since its original growth period. As such, it offers a pretty decent barometer for how far and how quickly glaciers are retreating. Quote, "We travel to the retreating ice margins, sample newly exposed plants preserved on these ancient landscapes, and carbon date the plants to get a sense of when the ice last advanced over that location," unquote. This is what Pendleton explained. And he adds, because dead plants are efficiently removed from the landscape, the radiocarbon age of rooted plants define the last time summers were as warm, on average, as those of the past century, unquote. In total, the team collected 48 plant samples from 30 ice caps on Baffin Island, as well as quartz samples, which were used to help confirm the age and ice cover history of the environment. Analysis in the lab suggests that plants in all 30 ice caps were likely to have been preserved in a constant sheet of ice for the last 40,000 years or longer. The results were then compared to temperature data recovered from ice cores in Greenland and Baffin Island, which implied temperatures over the last 100 years have been the warmest in the region for 150,000 years. Quote, "Unlike biology, which has spent the past 3 billion years developing schemes to avoid being impacted by climate change, glaciers have no strategy for survival," unquote. Senior author Gifford Miller, a professor of geological sciences at CU Boulder, explained. Quote, "They're well behaved, responding directly to summer temperature. If summers are warm, they immediately recede. If summers cool, they advance. And this makes them one of the most reliable proxies for changes in summer temperature," end quote. And what with atmospheric carbon dioxide set to spike once again in 2019, we can expect more of these warm summers. Pendleton added, "We haven't seen anything as pronounced as this before." If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.